remember the fade in your eyes. I'm lost in space, floating away.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Steve. Today I want to do something a little bit more personal. I'm not feeling too well today, so bear with me. But anyway, so today I want to talk about how basketball saved my life. I'm gonna try to stay as unemotional as possible because I'm really emotional. If you guys haven't noticed by now, by me getting upset over someone calling Carmelo Anthony not top 20, not even top 10, which is crazy. But so anyway, basketball saved my life, and I told you guys I grew up really poor, and I had a lot of troubles in my life. But everyone has their own story, so I guess this is mine with basketball. So pretty much, again, the first time I ever saw basketball, 2007 NBA Finals, and I was like, who is this guy? And obviously that was LeBron James. I was like, who is this guy, and how is he so good? And then I started watching movies about basketball. There was this one movie that took place in the 60s. It wasn't made in the 60s. It took place in the 60s. And it was about how black people used to get oppressed, how they used to like spray paint their room and throw food and just a whole bunch of nasty stuff to these people. And I start getting into basketball more and more and more. I start watching basketball movies. I start the one with Whoopi Goldberg, and she's at like a Knick head coach or something like that. So anyway, let me move on. So I'm playing basketball, I'm training for basketball, and I'm playing on this team. I think it was an AAU team, the Brooklyn Kings, back in the day. This was like 6th grade. I was like 11, 12 years old. So all of this is occurring, and I'm good. And then the summer of 2011 comes, and that was, in my eyes, one of the funnest summers ever. But at the same time, it kind of screwed me over, and here's why. So, here's the thing. I used to get bullied. In high school, I got bullied, like, really badly. And, not badly, but, it was occasional bully, especially in freshman year. Like, when you have... And I'm going to get really deep here. It's kind of hard to, but I'm going to just, try to open up as much as possible. So, I used to suffer from very severe acne. And, when it gets to the point where literally no one would even look at you to talk to you, or they wouldn't even want to sit next to you, or if they get into a group with you, they would ask the teacher to change groups, and you can hear them laughing at you and talking trash about you, and then even in front of the teacher talking trash about you, saying, oh, you're ugly, look at your face, look at this and this and that. Just that gets to you, and it's like you're isolated because there's nothing you can do. And there was just nothing I could do at that time. And, just to have, there would be times where literally some people that said they were my friends would make fun of me in front of the entire class for 10, 20 minutes nonstop, and the teachers wouldn't say anything. And it's easy to say, oh, get over it. But, when you go through something like that and you feel so isolated and you feel like there's no one to help, that scars you for life, and it really, and I'm not saying I regret having to go through that, because I'm going to get to that in the end, because I don't regret going through that. I actually think it helped me a lot. But anyway, so throughout high school, just again, man, people wouldn't even look me in my face, or they wouldn't even talk to me or stuff like that. So I got into a severe depression, and I got addicted to, this is going to sound funny, but I got addicted to Call of Duty. And literally I would run home from school, play Call of Duty, and this was back when I was doing Call of Duty on YouTube. I'd run home to school, play Call of Duty, and upload a video every single day. But I was just severely depressed. I'll actually show you guys my first Call of Duty video ever. I'll insert it right now.
And today I'm showing you guys a domination on Fallen. And yes, I do get my MOAB with the ACR. But today I don't really want to talk about the gameplay. But I know you guys are probably like, oh look, another ACR gameplay. Not really that big of a difference. But it's my first MOAB in a few weeks, because I stopped going for them because MOAB is...
So that was my first Call of Duty video ever. My first video ever on YouTube. And, I was really young. I was probably 14, 15. 14, actually. But the thing is I got so addicted, I threw basketball out of the window. And that sucked because I worked so hard in junior high school to get good at basketball. And I was really, really good at basketball. I know everyone says that, but I was. And now 4 years go by and I lose basketball. Well, not 4. Here's the thing. My junior year in high school goes by, and I meet this kid named Xavier, and he's like, oh, let's go shoot around at the basketball court. And I'm like, all right, fine. You know, I haven't played ball in a while, but I'll shoot around. And as soon as I felt that basketball in my hand, my whole life changed. I know it sounds corny, but as soon as I felt that basketball in my hand, my whole life changed. Because here's the reason why I went through depression. Besides the fact that I got bullied, besides the fact that people wouldn't even talk to me, they wouldn't even look at me, they wouldn't even, like, yeah, that shit hurts, you know? I know it's like a first world problem, but I mean, like, if you go through something like that, you would know that it hurts. You know, psychologically, it scars you. But the thing that hurt me the most is, my father's in prison, which I'm over that. But what hurt me the most is, I was so poor at one point in time that my mom used to live somewhere in East New York, which is one of the worst neighborhoods in New York City. And it was so bad that I couldn't even live with her. It was sort of like the Dwyane Wade scenario where he had to leave and go live with his father. It's like that. It was so bad that I couldn't even live with her. Because the one time I went over there, as soon as I stepped out of that building, I nearly got jumped. And I'm not even exaggerating. You know, so I could not even live there for my sake, for my safety and stuff. And I'm worried about my mom. And I don't see my mom for almost a year. You know, so all of this comes into combine, a whole bunch of other stuff. You know, I don't want to get too much into it. Finding out I had a heart condition and that, there's a slight chance that one day I won't be able to do anything athletic in the future, like 20 years from now when I get really older. You know, but besides all of this crap, you know, as soon as I touched that basketball, I felt revamped. I was like, whoa. You know, because, again, my grades were declining in high school. I didn't care about anything. I hated everyone and I hated the world. And as soon as I felt that basketball, I was just like, whoa. Whoa, I haven't felt like this in a while. You just feel like you're all alone and you have no worries in the world. You know, that's how I felt like. And I'm just like, wow. So I get the basketball, and I didn't play at all through high school because, again, I told you, you know, I threw it all away because, you know, I was on some stupid stuff back then. You know, depression and things like that. It's not an excuse, but, you know, I don't regret it, and here's why. I'll get to that in a second. But anyway, so, you know, the summer of 2014 comes by. This is my junior year. Going into my senior year, I start playing basketball all day again. I go to the YMCA. I start training, and here's why it changed my life. If it weren't for basketball, I wouldn't have turned around my grades. I wouldn't have fixed my life. I wouldn't have stopped caring about what people thought about me. And I wouldn't have had discipline. Basketball taught me discipline. Waking up early at 4 o'clock in the morning to go and train taught me discipline. Knowing you can't hit the basketball court until you do your push-ups and sit-ups, that taught me discipline. So all of this combined, now it's like, okay, I'm going to grind and I'm never going to stop until I achieve what I want to achieve. And that is why basketball changed my life. It taught me that no matter what, you need to keep pushing forward. You don't need to care about what anyone thinks about you. You just need to keep grinding, and it will never be easy, but you always have to push forward. Basketball forced me for the first time in my life to push myself. And now I think I'm the best basketball player I have ever been, ever, in my lifetime. Y'all thought I was going to say in the world. No, I'm the best basketball player that I have ever been. You know, so right now, I'm trying out for college. I think the tryouts are sometime in the next month or two. I'm going to try out. I'm going to let you guys know how the results go, if I make it or not. And if I don't make it, that's okay. I still have 2 more years left. And even if I don't make it then, that's okay. Because basketball still changed my life. It's okay if I don't make it pro. That's fine with me. I had to take a different route than most other people do. And that's partly because it's my fault. It is my fault. I shouldn't have allowed these people to impact my life like that. I shouldn't have allowed myself to go into that deep of depression. I shouldn't have thrown basketball out the window because I got my feelings hurt. You know? So, looking back, I wish I handled it different. But now that I realize, it shaped me into the person that I am today. And I will never trade that for anything. You guys know the type of person I am. You guys know I only have 1,600 subscribers, but I upload every single day, twice a day. Most people don't even upload every single day, and they have 300,000 subscribers. You know why I upload every day? Besides the fact that I do want to be the biggest YouTuber on the planet, besides that, the fact is I don't take things for granted anymore. I understand that if I start to get lazy, whatever I have going for me now that's going to increase gradually, all of that will disappear. So I cannot stop. I need to keep pushing forward, and I will never give up. I told you guys this. This basketball channel is going to be one of my many channels, but I have to take it one step at a time, and the first step is to grow this channel. I told you guys I have this huge plan with YouTube channels and starting my own company and things like that, but I'm not going to talk about it until it starts to happen because I'm taking it one step at a time. I have all of this planned out, and I will never stop until it happens. So that is why I cannot upload once a week. That is why I cannot upload only once a day. That's why I cannot upload 3 times. I need to upload twice a day, every single day. And that is why I do what I do. Because I love it. I know it's going to pay off in the end. And I know if I start slacking on my pimping, if I start to slack on my pimping, I will lose everything I've worked for. Here's the thing, guys. If it weren't, this is the way I think about stuff. I used to think I wasted my time from 2012 to 2015 when I uploaded Call of Duty every single day. So 365 times 3, that's probably over 1,000. Over 1,000 videos. I used to think, oh, I wasted my time. Look, I only had 2,600 subs. But no, you want to know why? Because midway through, it was probably like 2013, I started 2 other channels. This channel, you guys know my other channel used to be X Bunny Rabbit X1. This channel used to be X Bunny Rabbit X2. And I told them, come sub here and I'll be playing 2K. So that is why when I started uploading videos, I had around 300 subscribers on this channel. And if I didn't do that, there is no guarantee that anyone would have saw any of my videos. Which means I still probably would have had only 100 subs by now, or 50 subs by now, and I'd still be grinding. Because I grind. Here's the thing about me. Even when I was in the depression, I grinded. I uploaded every single day because I knew one day it would all pay off. That day is approaching, hopefully. I don't know when it's going to happen. But at the end of the day, I'm never going to stop. So anyway, that's why, I'm making this video for you guys. So you guys can have some motivation. So you guys can see, no matter what you're going through, someone always has it worse. Like, you guys probably don't even think what I went through was bad. Being bullied, psychological, emotional trauma and stuff. You guys probably don't even think that's bad. But to me, it was terrible, right? But here's the thing. People had it worse. So imagine your situation. Whether you're broke, whether your light bill is off, whether you can't even afford to pay cable, whatever it is. Know that someone has it worse, and know that you're never stuck in whatever situation you're in. And you can always turn it around. So that is why I put the quotes in the beginning and at the end of my videos to motivate you guys. And that is why I opened up in this video for you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys so much. Let's take over this YouTube thing. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Honestly, if it weren't for you guys being here, commenting and talking to me, like, now I have trouble opening up to people, like meeting people. I have trouble talking to people because I'm so scared that they're gonna judge me. And it's just like, it's my body's natural self-defense mechanism now because all that emotional trauma I went through. You guys understand what I'm trying to say. A lot of people go through that shit, so now I can't even, like, if I meet someone, it's hard for me to even talk to them or to even let them in, and sometimes I'm like, okay, like, why am I so mean? But then I realized everyone is so mean to everyone, right? But the thing is don't hold that against people. Be nice to everyone. And if they don't show you respect, okay. You don't have to be an asshole back. Just ignore it. You don't have to be nice back. You don't have to be anything back. Just cut them out of your life. That's what I did. I had so-called friends, quote-unquote friends. I realized they were only using me. Well, guess what? I don't know them anymore. I love you guys. I'm out of here. Peace.